Stock market today, live updates on Dow, S&P 500 and Tesla earnings. Wall Street on edge, will earnings season shatter records or dreams? The stock market held its breath on July 22, 2025, as traders braced for the start of a pivotal earnings season, particularly for the dominant megacap companies. With investors also closely monitoring the latest developments on tariffs, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation. Remarkably, despite the tension, stocks managed to cling to their all-time highs. Let's delve into the details of this nail-biting day. While the S&P 500 index remained virtually unchanged, showing only a minuscule fluctuation, over half of its constituent companies experienced gains. This suggests a fascinating dynamic at play, a sense of underlying strength despite the overall index stagnation. But here's where it gets interesting. The group of high-performing tech giants, often referred to as the Magnificent Seven, saw their 9-day winning streak come to a halt. However, this wasn't a universal downturn. Tesla and Alphabet, two of the most influential members of this elite group, actually climbed higher in anticipation of their upcoming earnings reports. This begs the question: are these individual stock movements a precursor to stellar earnings reports, or are investors setting themselves up for disappointment? Meanwhile, the housing sector showed signs of life, with D.R. Horton leading a rally among homebuilders. This positive movement could indicate renewed confidence in the housing market, but is it sustainable in the long run? And this is the part most people miss. Kohl's Corporation experienced a dramatic surge, briefly soaring by an astounding 105% before settling down to a still impressive 38% gain. This erratic price action is reminiscent of the volatile, meme stock era, raising concerns about market stability and the potential influence of speculative trading. Is this a sign of things to come, or just an isolated incident? Adding another layer of complexity to the situation, Texas Instruments delivered a disappointing forecast after the market closed. This news could potentially cast a shadow over the tech sector and influence market sentiment in the coming days. The interplay between these various factors creates a complex and uncertain landscape for investors. Beyond the individual stock movements, broader market indicators also painted an intriguing picture. Bond yields and the value of the US dollar both declined. These shifts can have significant implications for investment strategies and global economic dynamics. What do these changes signify for the future direction of the market? So, what are your thoughts? Do you believe the market's resilience will continue, or are we on the verge of a correction? Share your predictions and perspectives in the comments below. Let's discuss the potential impact of these developments and explore the possible scenarios that lie ahead. Are we witnessing the calm before the storm, or is this the beginning of a sustained bull run? The coming days and weeks will undoubtedly provide some answers, but the debate is open now. Let's hear your take. Stock market update July 22, 2025, S&P 500 hits record, Dow rises, Nasdaq falls. Stock market update as of July 22, 2025, a tale of two markets. S&P 500 reaches new heights amidst mixed fortunes for tech giants and the Nasdaq. Updated just 2 hours ago, the stock market has delivered a mixed bag of results, painting a fascinating picture of the current economic landscape. The S&P 500, the benchmark for the U.S. stock market, has reached a record high, a testament to its resilience and the broad strength of the economy. Despite the Nasdaq Composite's recent run of record-breaking closes coming to an abrupt halt, the S&P 500 managed to eke out a gain of 0.1%, setting a new closing high. This performance was particularly notable as it came on the heels of the tech-heavy Nasdaq's 0.4% dip, which snapped its 6-day streak of record closes. The Nasdaq's fall was largely attributed to a wave of selling in AI stocks, including heavyweights like Nvidia and Broadcom, both of which closed lower. But here's where it gets controversial. While the Nasdaq's fall might seem like a setback, it could also be seen as a healthy correction in a market that's been on an unprecedented run. What do you think? Is this a sign of things to come, or just a blip on the radar? The Dow Jones Industrial Average, meanwhile, rose by 179 points, or 0.4%, inching closer to its record high of 45,014.04 set on December 4, 2024. The gap to this record is now about 500 points, a distance that, while not negligible, is certainly achievable in the current market climate. Small-cap stocks also posted strong gains, suggesting a broad-based rally that's not just limited to the blue-chip stocks. Among the movers in the market were Tesla, Nvidia, Opendoor, and more, with their shares experiencing significant fluctuations. Tesla, for instance, saw a notable rise, likely driven by anticipation of its upcoming product launches and strategic partnerships. Nvidia and Opendoor, on the other hand, faced headwinds from the broader market sell-off in AI stocks. And this is the part most people miss. While the headlines focus on the Nasdaq's fall and the S&P 500's rise, the real story might be the resilience of the Dow and the strength of small-cap stocks. But here's a thought-provoking question: is the S&P 500's record a sign of a healthy market, or is it a bubble waiting to burst? What do you think?